everyone. We are here again, but this week I have neither the words nor the wisdom, so I'm going to give you over to the Rabbi, who seems to have an abundance of both. Here's the Rabbi.
Hello, everyone. The Perashat this week is the half of the Parashiyot that usually come together, Acharemot and Kedoshim. So now here, outside Eretz Israel, the Parashah is Kedoshim. But in Eretz Israel, they are already ahead of us, and that they are Parashat Emor. So I have to make commentary on Kedoshim. And Kedoshim, when you translate the word Kedoshim, it means holy. And in a way, it starts by saying, Kedoshim Tiyu. God is saying, Kedoshim Tiyu ki kadosh ani. You should be holy because I am holy. And what is that exactly? It means really that, first of all, that it's telling the Jewish people, you have to live your life that in a way that expresses holiness the same as the holiness of God. And we can understand, first of all, last week in Acharemot, we spoke there about the holiness of the temple, what the rituals, all the fanfare that accompanies the ritual and so on, and everything that is in the temple in holiness. And here now, the Torah is telling us that don't think that to be holy means only in those areas that between you and God, you have to represent that holiness. You have to become holy like God because you are dealing with God only. No, it's telling you now that to be holy is also mean in relationship to other people, lazulat. That means to other human being. When it comes with other human being, your behavior has to be in such a way that expresses holiness. And holiness is something that I would say the same as God is holy. Why? Because God doesn't need anybody, doesn't need anything. His holiness is the fact that he does good for other people. He created that. He does good for everyone. That's the holiness of God. We have to get out of our centricity, our personal interest, and try to do for other things. In fact, that's how the Torah begins to tell us the holiness. What is it, and if I may just quote what the Torah says about the mitzvot. It deals with the mitzvot: revere your parents, observe Shabbat, no idol worship, give gift to the poor, deal honestly, love your fellow Jew, refrain from immoral sexual relationship, honor old people, love the proselyte, don't engage in sorcery or superstition, do not pervert justice, observe the laws of kashrut and more. The portion end, you shall observe all my decrees and ordinances, and you shall be holy. I have separated you from the people to be mine. So it's a new concept that the Torah introduces about holiness, that means the kind of holiness like God, that it's the same way that he goes out of his way to do good for other people. That is the holiness of God. We have to copy and to emulate him in that regard. That's why the mitzvot come, at least 51 mitzvot that represent that. When the Torah starts by telling us you should honor your parents and your father and mother, that is something that usually the tendency is to be selfish, because your parents, they give you everything from the moment that you are born. All of a sudden, the Torah is telling you, get out of that, and now you have to have respect for your parent. In the same thing with everything else, when you have to love the proselyte, you have to go out of your way of thinking that that person is a stranger or that person is nothing to do with me. No, you have to go out of yourself and bring that goodness towards other people. And that is what the most important thing. There is, it begins in here, in one of the examples that the Torah gives, it says, לא תקלל חירש ולפני העיוור לא תיתן מכשול ויראת מאלוהיך אני השם. He said, don't curse somebody who is deaf. Now, these are obvious things. Why should anybody curse somebody who is deaf? In any case, the deaf is not going to hear what you're saying. So what is the content of the Torah? What is the Torah is telling us? And also, the Torah says, don't put a stumbling block in front of a blind person. I mean, you must be crazy to do something like that. Why the Torah is telling us not to do such a thing? But the idea our rabbis tell us in interpreting that, first of all, is that you must not take advantage of somebody's inabilities, somebody's tendencies to be in a certain way where they are not so perfect like you. Don't take advantage of them. And so what happened is that the Torah said, לפני עיוור לא תקלל חירש, לא תקלל חירש, which means do not curse the deaf. It means that even if that person doesn't hear you, you should not get used to curse and to be obnoxious to other people, because it will rub on you, and you become, when you start cursing all the time, that is it doesn't fare well for you and for your personality. And that's what the Torah means. And in the same thing also, לפני עיוור לא תיתן מכשול. לפני עיוור לא תיתן מכשול, that means that in front of the blind, meaning when somebody is like a blind, in the sense that is not able to do certain things, don't take advantage of that. Let's say, for example, somebody that is known that is an alcoholic person. Don't come in a party and go and give him wine to drink. No, that's not an appropriate thing. A person who is on a diet, all of a sudden you go and give him cake. That's not, you have to be refined. That's what the Torah wants to tell us. You have to be a person that to refine you, and this is how you express the chosenness, the fact that God, that's why he said, I am Kadosh, I am holy. You be like me, I am choosing you to represent me, and you have to be refined and do all these things in the best way possible. Shabbat Shalom.